Dr. Tony Huge here, enhancedathlete.com, here at Max Muscle on Arden and Howe with one of the owners here, Leroy. As you can tell, Leroy knows what he's talking about here too. Very fit guy. We got Brett Fair here. Brett Fair has been doing a test run on pretty much the most aggressive, one of the most aggressive fat loss protocols that we can think of. So we're going to see what his results are here right now using this very accurate in-body scale they have here at Max Muscle that's free for any of their customers to use. It gives a full composition analysis of the lean body mass, the amount of water, the amount of bone, everything you could need to know to really track your progress, because guys, if you're losing a scale at home and looking at the weight, you don't know whether you're losing muscle, you're losing water, losing fat. This is going to help it isolate exactly how much fat he's lost. So we're going to get the printout, we're going to analyze it for you. We also have this scale over here I just bought just to try and compare it, to show you guys the difference between one of these advanced, $4,000 machines or whatever versus a home, $100 scale that you can buy, so you can see how accurate they are in comparison. We'll go over the results now. Here's the comparison, here's the before, and here's the after. This was done a day before he started the protocol, and this is done after he completed the protocol. It's been a few days since he stopped the protocol. And he lost, if you look at the body fat mass, was 49.4 pounds before, and now it's 42.6, 6.2 pounds of fat. So his body fat percentage went from 25.6% to 23.1%. This shows what part of his body he lost the most fat from. So he lost the most fat from his trunk, so his abdomen and lower back, and potentially visceral fat behind the abs around the organs, and then also from his arms. He didn't lose much off of his legs. I have the comparison between the in-body, very expensive machine test and the inexpensive home test. The in-body said that he was 23.1% body fat, and the at-home scale said 22.5% body fat. So pretty close, but if you're really trying to gauge the effectiveness of making small changes to a diet or something, might not be accurate enough. I'm going to be doing a full report on at-home body fat scales, because I actually went online and I bought all of them, and I'm going to line them all up, and we're going to test them all against each other. So that's a future video. Stay tuned.
From looking at the results, it's amazing that I have not lost any of my muscle mass at all, and strictly just dropped fat. And I could feel it not just in the results, but I mean, my pants are smaller, and my shirt's still pretty tight around my arms. I've always had decent sized arms, so yeah, pretty amazing.
All right, so you went with a pretty high dose of DNP. Did you start out with a high dose, or did you work your way up to it?
No, so because I was on strictly a juice diet for the 10 days, I started on 200 milligrams day 1, bumped that up to 400 milligrams day 2, and the entire first 7 days I was doing no cardio. I didn't go to the gym one time, so just another reason why this is pretty crazy to see these results. And then 3 times last week I did an hour of cardio at the gym. One of those days I did an hour of cardio and 45 minutes of weights, and I took 600 milligrams of DNP on those days. Haven't had any issues with side effects whatsoever.
Well, that's surprising, because if I take 600 milligrams of DNP, it feels like I've got a fever. I'm very hot. Of course, that's one of the things DNP does, is increase your body temperature. That's why it burns the calories. And I'm very lethargic. Like it's exhausting to even get up out of a chair, because your body is so depleted of any calories, because they're all getting burned off as body heat. And that's why it burns fat. But did you experience that body heat or lethargy?
I could feel a slight rise in temperature every once in a while, but nothing.
Do you think it was in response to like when you would eat or get stressed, or what do you think triggered the temperature increase?
I can't really pinpoint that, but it wasn't so much that it created an issue for me. It was something that was just like, you walk into a warm room and so be it. And then
so you weren't sweating too much?
No, not at all. Okay. And yesterday I played 18 holes of golf, and I was on 400 milligrams of DNP, and it was 102 yesterday. So
did you ever have any times when you felt like you were getting dehydrated?
It didn't feel like I was getting dehydrated at all, but I was drinking quite a bit of water, just mainly because on a juice cleanse you are supposed to be taking in a significant amount of water in between your juices throughout the day.
So you didn't have much protein then over the last 10 days?
For week 1, my protein came from kale juiced. So, and we're not talking like put it in a NutriBullet or whatever. This is a full-blown Rebel juicer. So we're stripping all the fiber, just the juice is byproduct. So there really is not too much protein, and that's partly why I didn't go to the gym and exert a lot of force. Now, in the second week, I did eat 1 Quest bar 3 days prior to going to the gym. So I did supplement my juice diet with a Quest bar just before going to the gym.
Yeah, still, I'm surprised that you had so little protein. I'm a huge fan of high protein. I drink protein shakes all day long. In fact, we're at Max Muscle here. They've got some of the most delicious protein powders that exist. So I'm a huge fan of protein. I feel like if I don't have protein after a few hours, I feel like my body's eating its muscle, right? So I was really surprised to hear that you went with so little protein for so long on DNP, lost that much fat, and didn't lose any muscle. And I've heard this from other people too, is that DNP, it's almost like it preserves the muscle. It really goes after the body fat and doesn't attack the muscle. That's been my experience too, because I've had these tests done before and after a DNP cycle, and I've noticed that I haven't lost any muscle as well. In fact, one time I actually gained muscle, but that's because I was binge eating. Speaking of binge eating, did you have any like cheat days or anything during this, or you're pretty strict?
So there was one cheat day, which was I went to a wedding, and the cheats were beers and whiskey at the wedding. Other than that, no other cheat days.
Did the alcohol raise your body temperature? Did you feel?
No, not at all.
Some people say if they drink alcohol and DNP, it also spikes their temperature. So, wow, you have a really high tolerance to things too. Also, yeah, you've taken a lot of supplements before. If you did this cycle again, would you do anything differently?
Yeah, I think that knowing what the possibilities are, and then stacking it with the other enhanced athlete products that you guys are offering, and really incorporating a full diet rather than just the juice, to where I can operate at a level that I can exert significant workouts in. So that's probably what I would do, is stack more proteins, put in some heavy lifting.
Yeah, because I would speculate that you would lose double the amount of fat, that you would have lost at least 12 pounds, maybe even 15 pounds of fat if you had increased the exercise. Because what DNP does is it blocks your body's ability to convert fat and carbohydrates, glucose, into ATP, which is the actual fuel used inside the muscle. And when you block that conversion, and then your body pulls those nutrients in to try and use it for fuel, and it can't, it burns it off as heat. And so the more you're asking your body to pull that fat and those carbs into the muscle, and the more you're asking it to use it, the exponentially more fat you would burn. So you probably burned a lot of the fat from the 3 days that you did cardio. I mean, those days you probably lost 1.5 pounds of fat per day, and the other days you probably lost like 0.6 pounds of fat per day, or 0.5 pound of fat per day, something like that. Sure. So I'd be curious to see, when you do your next cycle, let's document how much you work out. Let's try to increase the exercise and see if we can amplify that and lose maybe 2 pounds of fat per day, because we know you have a tolerance. You can go up to 600 milligrams. I think on 600 milligrams you can lose 2 pounds of fat per day if you're exercising enough. Not experience the side effect of lethargy or weakness.
Yeah, I did an hour, no problem. I probably could have gone for another half an hour, 2 hours even. So yeah, as far as lethargy, it wasn't an issue. I was never tired. I mean, I'm up at 5 in the morning every day, and I go work for 12.
Sleep. What about sleep? Did it impact your sleep at all? That's a lot of, for me it does. It makes me harder to sleep when I'm hot at night.
Didn't affect my sleep at all, but maybe the way that I was dosing it is I was taking it in the morning when I get up about 5 a.m. and then I was taking another, or depending on what the day was, whether it was a 400 day or a 600 day, I'd take another one at lunchtime. So
okay. And did you get heartburn when you took it?
No. No
Okay.
heartburn.
Wow, that's great. I get a little bit of heartburn, so I got to chase it with a little bit of food. But
Yeah, no.
fantastic.
No heartburn.
Anything else that people might want to hear about your experience with DNP, so we can all learn from it?
I think that the results speak for themselves. I'm extremely impressed with what has happened in literally 12 days, and just excited to move on to the next test. And
So are you gonna start the bulking cycle now, or do you want to do another cutting cycle?
I don't know. I'm gonna let the doctor tell me.
Okay, after the video, we're going to strategize. We're going to do either another cutting cycle or a bulking cycle, and we have these test results from today as the before, and then whichever one we choose, we'll do a video afterwards also, because you're a great test subject, because you document everything really well. You took a lot of pictures. That's really helpful, and you're willing to share the information. Not everybody's willing to share the information about what they're taking and their private, information. So thank you for sharing that with us. Everybody appreciates it, I'm sure. Thanks, Brad.